Wonderful, we're live. So Asse, welcome to this interview. Thank you for taking the time. And I'm going to just do a little brief background on what your area of expertise is, but then I would like you to share with us if you may. So Asse is a cryptocurrency expert. Now, I have no idea what that means, but I know cryptocurrency could be a good thing. Potentially, I don't know, but we're going to find out off Asse later. So I'm excited for this one. He's also a guide and healer in the Mystery School. And this is why I love doing these interviews, because each one of the guides that I've interviewed, each one of the healers comes from a completely different background, all have their areas of expertise. And it's just fascinating to know how the tools from Mystery School have influenced and enabled them to reach their dreams in other areas of their lives as well. So we're going to talk to Asse about that as well. So Asse, could you do a quick intro of yourself? Please explain your background and let us all know about you and how amazing you are.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting me and having me. And yeah, my background is mostly I have been worked in IT fields over like 15 years or something. I have done IT development and services and lead different teams. And so in some moment, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago, I started to look more into the finance world, because the finance and money has been always for me really fascinating topic and interesting topic, and I have asked questions from myself that what is money and why there is inequality in the world and why there are wars and everything. And then in those times, when I started to learn more about money, what it is and from where it comes from and who controls it and everything, and then I went really deeply into the different conspiracy theories, and I started to getting angry into the money, and I started to block the abundance and but suddenly I realized it, and then I understood that it's not wise to fight with it, rather accept it and get to know it even more deeply, and try to put the energy into the creation, not to fighting it against it. So suddenly I find out myself working in deep center of the money, which is Ministry of Finance, Estonia. So I understand more about the people who are working in that system, and the main like values and principles, and it is really a great time and learning time. And then I next place where I started to work was in a bank. At that time, again, source of money in a different way, but that time already I was hired by one Estonian bank as a world's first blockchain expert full time. It was 5 years ago already. It was really early time for the banking and the cryptocurrency sector.
What is blockchain? Sorry, I know I might be. Would you be able to give a brief description? Thank you.
Sure. So blockchain is innovation and invention which came along together with Bitcoin, most famous cryptocurrency. And the blockchain is basically technology how to structure different data into the database so that it's held securely but same time in a decentralized way, and so that it can be trusted. So basically, blockchain is kind of vehicle for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is cryptocurrency, like application top of the blockchain database, and that's why basically cryptocurrency is first application top of the blockchain, and that's why the blockchain itself is way more even way more important than the cryptocurrencies.
So you were given that task in Estonia then, quite at the beginning of all of this movement. Why do you think that money, the money that we have now, that we can touch and that we can feel, why do you think that people wanted to move away from that? What was the desire to go to cryptocurrency or use this other platform?
Yeah, the main motivation behind the Bitcoin invention and the blockchain invention was it happened 2008, where the big previous banking crisis happened. So the different scientists have tried many times to invent a new way of money, alternative way of money, like besides the banking money, because banking money is broken. It's the principles are wrong, and it is broken, and it's not possible to save it. Basically, it's with the conventional banking money and fiat money. It's called fiat money basically. We are heading to the collapse, and it's unavoidable. Why is that so? Because like I said, the principles are wrong. It's built up so that it have to be collapsed. There is no other way. And now, luckily, we have this decentralized alternative way now, which called cryptocurrencies, huge, sustainable, and kind of dependent ecosystem, which is more or less ready to adopt a whole new mass into it when the banking system collapses.
So the banking system then, according to your area of expertise and other people in your area of expertise, is on a ticking time bomb. It's not going to survive. How has COVID affected that, Asse? What has that accelerated it or saved it, or what's happened there?
Yes, during the COVID, for example, if we look United States Federal Reserve, which is a source of money, it creates base money. Well, we have in the banking sector, we have two kinds of money. We have base money and we have credit money. Base money is created in central banks, and credit money is created in other layers of banks as a loans. And everything could be maybe okay if we don't change the numbers of base money, but that's the huge mistake that central banks, the Federal Reserve in United States and the European Central Bank, and I think in China as well, they all have printed more and more base money, and especially in a COVID time. And that shows again the weakness of the current system, that we to lead economy in the right way and sustainable way, we don't have today any other options than just print more base money. And what it creates snowball effect, which takes a little bit of time. But basically, Fed printed during the last 3 months more base money than whole 2 centuries together. And and in the numbers, the amount of base money increased over 50%, which means that every dollar we will held in our hands, according to the balance sheet, is worth half of it. It in the economy, it just takes a little bit time because we have it's a big mass, and it's yeah, it just takes a time because the dollar is most dominant and it's most widely used. But if you look just statistics, then it means that every dollar what we held in our hands and what's move around in the digital systems, we can buy it. The buying force of buying power is 50% less than it was 3-4 months ago.
So what does this mean to me, Joe Blogs, on the street? I'm going to go and pay for my groceries with my wages that I just got put into my bank account from my company. You know, what does this mean? How is this going to affect us? What are the experts such as yourselves predicting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, it might take time. It might take like 1 year or 2 years, or the how the finance sector reacts to it, and it I don't know exactly from where and how it comes, but basically the smart is to restructure the investments and not to hold banking money, but rather trying to find the ways in more stronger assets where to store the value, which can store the value.
And so what about assets? We're talking about homes, are we, or things like that, or are we talking? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like in my mind, there are three most strongest assets, or yeah, okay, let's say 4. First is real estate. This is more conservative. Then it's gold or precious metals asset class, which is kind of a middle. And then most progressive is cryptocurrencies and crypto assets, different crypto assets. This is most progressive, and there might be there are more risks there because most of it's not regulated, because it's not easy to regulate, and some aspects are impossible to regulate, which is totally another topic and really interesting and fascinating. But and the fourth class is different companies, startups, different stocks, and from there it depends on already in the field which like, is it a technology company or is it like food, or that's again another.
And so this is fascinating. So we're seeing, you know, this we're seeing the world changing. We've seen the world changing at a rapid rate. Obviously, we have COVID, the pandemic, and we've seen life change. And that is probably, as you're discussing, forcing change to come in financially as well. So, in terms of your spiritual background, you know, you're a healer and you're a guide in the mystery school and the path. How do you know, lots of people talk to me about abundance, about lack of abundance, and like you were saying, a fear of money or anger or frustration. How do you work from a spiritual aspect, you know, with energy and such like, and working with cryptocurrency and all that kind of stuff? Is there a link?
Yes, there is. What the blockchain does, it's basically, yeah, there are many ways how to look it, but one way is what blockchain uh, gave us as a gift is the opportunity to build not only the money and cryptocurrencies, but every other platforms, systems, so that it's avoiding the uh, human factor, and it's avoiding the human factor and can makes it possible um to build secure and trusted systems so that it's free of corruption, it's free of uh, attacks, and basically in a way avoids human ego. And what I'm doing in with the healing work and guide work, it's kind of same. Just the blockchain works with the people businesses so that we can build businesses so that in a much secure and stronger way that the human factor is minimized. And same thing I'm doing with people's lives, that I'm helping them to understand their own ego and how it affects, and help to get accept it, or get over it, or yeah. So one link is there. So one is like working with the people's lives, and another is with the people business, and just the tools are different.
So your clientele then are, you're from a finance and IT background. Now, traditionally, and maybe I'm wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but traditionally, people that are from an IT or mathematical background, finance background, they don't really tend to be into more of the spiritual practices. But have you noticed a change in this? And if so, what are the type of people what is your clientele like? Are they from this type of background? And what are their thoughts? Do they find it tricky to um, because everything has some kind of logic, doesn't it, in finance and IT? It's all numbers, it's a system, it's an algorithm. So when they come over to a magical sense, do they understand that it's also an alchemical process? Is that difficult for them to make that jump?
Yeah, it's for me personally, it has been quite a challenge too, that as I'm coming from the analytical perspective as well, and wants to understand everything, and it has been huge challenge to let go of it, this attachment, trying to understand everything, which in cryptocurrency, where there is everything available, transparency is biggest value there, and everything can be understood. And now we have this uh, metaphysics and healing practices where there is trust first and understanding comes sometimes later. And yeah, this this shift for me has been challenge, but I'm really glad that I am here. And if I'm looking at clients, then I have a feeling that the people who are working with the numbers and logic and are in a really rational world, something deep inside them still looking more answers, and he knows that there is something more, and and are ready to try and to trust. Yeah, and it's it depends on the person, but I have noticed that maybe people who are even in a more this finance side, they are able to go more deeply into the spiritual side as well. That has been interesting to notice. Yeah.
And also, so when you have these people that are coming from, and traditionally people in finance and IT and what have you tend to have their own personal finances in order because they're from that kind of logical mindset. Everything is like, okay, so we know what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. It's well-paid job. Da, 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 da. A equals B. Da, 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 da. They've got it planned. What happens to their abundance flow and their creativity when they start to walk the path of the mystery source? So maybe they get a life activation or they get initiated. Have they seen increased success? Are they able to expand more? Are they able to wield that knowledge and power even more so? What have you noticed?
Yes, I think that yeah, it definitely empowers. What it adds is that we can make our decisions being way more aware from where the decisions are coming from, and if we have made the life activation or empower the self class, and we know the tools and we are using them, this all adds another level of connection and awareness. And if we can use this awareness to lead our life and decisions which are related to abundance, then just whole life will become much more fulfilled and complete. And if I'm looking my own experience on that, then currently I feel that I'm going through the really fascinating learning curve where I'm just starting to integrating those two worlds together. And for my personal life, and I know that the success is gonna be huge in the near future. Currently it's a little bit challenged, but I'm really glad to be in that moment, and yeah, the future will be really bright.
Yeah, it's kind of that whole process, isn't it? Of you have to make space and let go. So of course that
Yes.
always comes with that element of, oh, do I want to let go of this? Don't I want to let go of it? I want to hold, and then we let go of it. And like you say, there's that period of time where you're like, okay, so, it's that waiting. And then all of a sudden, of course, the abundance starts to flow.
Yeah, it's like I like a couple of years ago when the crypto rates were really high, then I was really well in a financial way, and but I didn't know how did it happen. It happened like kind of suddenly, like it just was there. I had my intentions and everything, but I followed my mission just, and that was it, and it happened. And then something else happened, I wasn't able to let go some things, and I lost a lot of money, and made some wrong investments, and now I'm in a place where I'm learning it the same thing in a spiritual way, using the tools and being way more aware about myself, about my decisions and emotions and stage and yes, like growing up from that moment here will be way more fulfilled now, like with the both worlds.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say this, because I'm glad that you've said this, because people often, comment and say, well, it's okay for you, you've got this and you did this and you've done this. But what they don't realize is the many times that I have fallen, the many times that I have failed,
Exactly, yeah.
many times that I have made the wrong decision, the many times that I have had to get back up and I have had to like climb that mountain all over again from scratch. And I've done it so many times. And that is what I really want to help people to understand, is that success, it comes from failing a lot of time, and failure is very much part of success. And failure means that we've got up and we've experienced something, we've actually tried something, and then we know next time, okay, this is what I need to do this time. So it's really great that people are hearing this, because often people think, oh, well, he's cryptocurrency expert, and then he's going to make all these, and he just became multimillionaire overnight. He doesn't have to worry about anything. It's not about being an expert in something means that you failed in something many, 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 many times. So,
Yes.
for people out there that are wanting to, maybe invest in cryptocurrency, or they're wanting to start on their spiritual journey, kind of what advice would you have? 3 top tips. If they're going to be investing in cryptocurrency, or they're wanting to investigate it. I know you have an amazing book out, which I'm going to definitely recommend everybody reads, at the end of this. But what's your 3 top tips for people out there?
Yes, definitely mm, we have to take more responsibility of our investments, and it means that and currently it's the best time for it, because cryptocurrency movement creates a huge amount of opportunities for that. It basically, we will have way more choices how to lead our own finances there than in the banking sector, and it's really fascinating to see it. And but there is this rule that before you invest, you have to know where to invest. So it's essential to learn at least the basics. And yeah, I have this book, The Bitcoin Wave, Catch the Wave and Learn to Surf It. It's available in Amazon, and it's introduction into the cryptocurrencies, into the Bitcoin. And it's written in that way that it's basically, the editor was musician who didn't know anything about Bitcoin. So it's written in a way that everyone should understand it. And I think, yeah, it's a great for a start. It's a great way. And but same time, I think that the spiritual part should be abundant enough as well. That again, that we are aware how we are making the decisions and where to look, and how to lead our life in a best way. So basically the abundance should be go in both ways, in a spiritual and in financial, in earthly, and that makes it really a perfect combination, and makes it a lot more opportunities and freedom for ourselves and our world.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that whole description of that balance. You know, yes, we can have this amazing flow of abundance. We've got an opportunity to create, you know, maybe a new system with in monetary terms, but yet we can do it from this spiritual this awareness of our spiritual nature, because, you know, we are spiritual beings. We have never been born. We will never die. And you know, if we can come from that aspect, then we can create riches beyond our wildest dreams. And I think we all want that for everybody. Well, I know certainly in the mystery school, we always talk about it's all of us or none of us. So for us, you know, I know that's very much of, you know, Shambhala and a place where we will get that there's no suffering, that everybody has access to this. So yeah, I really like that element of, you know, having that balance. So Asse, I want to just finish off, and I want to make sure that people have all of the right details to contact you. So Asse, you are in Estonia.
Yes.
So you are obviously open. I know I've been to your center in Estonia and it's very beautiful. So everybody must go and visit. I know social distancing, you will need to book an appointment with Asse, and we're going to put the details in there. But I know that you are taking on some new clients for healing work and for sessions and classes, spiritual classes. And so, you know, for me, if you are a logical brained person, or, you know, you're in finance or IT and you've got that kind of background, and, you know, you're still wanting or seeking more, or you're just simply curious, you're interested, you want to know some more, talk to Asse, you know, get his details, and I'm sure he'll, you know, do a Zoom consultation if you're not in Australia, in Estonia, but you know, he can work something out. But definitely talk to him, because his perspective on things may well make more sense to you. So Asse, tell us where we can find you. Tell us about your book, where they can get the book. It's on Amazon, I know. And can we put all of the links in the comment box?
Yes. So yeah, I'm based in Estonia, in Tallinn. My center is in Tulika 19.
So this is the difference when I ask an IT person to put the things in a comment, the speed of their typing is like really quick. Okay, so all of the rest of us have been like, okay, we'll just, you know, we'll have to copy and paste, but hopefully you can see the comments from your side, and then they can buy the book on Amazon, can they?
Yes, the book is available on Amazon. Bitcoin Wave is, and it's available in paper, as a paperback, and as an electronic one.
I've just copied and pasted it, because you can private chat it to me, Asse. So
yeah, I can't add comments straight here too. Yeah. And yeah, you can, and I can put my phone number maybe.
Yeah, that would be great. And also, Asse, have you got any classes, anything coming up in the near future, the next few months?
We are planning it, but again, with the COVID restrictions, is a little bit challenge. So we will look what are the options and how we can do it.
Okay. Okay.
But private sessions are always available, and yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. So we're going to put all of the details in here for you all. And the name of the book, Asse, is
Bitcoin wave.
Then people can just search for that in Amazon. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Asse directly. I'm sure he'll be happy to help.
Yes, I'm available in Facebook and in Instagram and in Twitter as well.
Yay! Excellent.
And my email.
There you go. We'll get this to you all. Thank you so much for telling us a little bit. I feel like we need to have a second part because we really want to delve more into, into the money, the abundance, and Bitcoin, and really get more information about that. But so maybe if you'll come back on and do a part 2, that would be excellent.
Yeah, with pleasure, and thank you for having me and spreading the information and yeah, it was really a pleasure.
No, my pleasure. So thank you. Take care, and then take care everybody at home, and we'll see you all again soon.